I just got this Hero 5, the new one that just came out, GoPro, and I thought I would do a quick review and my first impressions, and then we'll just drive around. And I'll use this head strap, put it on my head, give you guys and gals kind of like a video game perspective. That's what I do in my truck. I'm a trucker, right? And that's why we're recording inside a vehicle. But this is a Mazda. Now, first things first. I had 3 GoPros before, so I'm familiar with the brand. I had the Hero 3, and then I got GoPro Hero, and briefly I used GoPro Hero Plus. And I'm only using 1080 or 720. You know, if you don't need to shoot ultra high resolution, then any of them will work. And my experience with GoPro Hero, the cheapest one, has been extremely positive, as because it doesn't have the screen in the back. The mic is positioned in a very nice spot, and so the audio is, I never used any well, it does not support outside microphones, so, but the built-in audio is pretty good, specifically on GoPro Hero. When I tried GoPro Hero Plus, because that one has a screen in the back, they had to move the mic, and right away the audio became muffled. And when I heard about Hero 5 coming out, first I pre-ordered the Cube, you know, the Session, and then I went to check things out at my photo store, and they still did not have the Cube, but this one, black Hero 5, went on sale, hit the shelves, so to speak, October 2nd here in Canada, October 2nd, 2016. And of course this one has more ports. I thought it supports external microphones, but so far I don't think I found the port for the mic. But it has a higher picture photography resolution, 12 megapixels versus 10 on the Session, and you know, it has a screen. And the first thing I found when I got it, I paid extra $100, is that when you're watching marketing videos online, they usually show you just this. And the guy from GoPro says, this is our best GoPro yet. And you see people doing this, like using it in your hand. But when you go to pick it up in the store, it comes inside. Oh, and they said now it's all waterproof, all the same housing, kind of like they use the same model, from what I understood, as with the GoPro Hero, where the camera is inside a body. It's not waterproof. You have to change the rear door. And so then you get this, and the guy said, I specifically remember in the video they were saying, now it's just one body, you don't need to use anything different. And of course they meant this, that this is waterproof. But I went to pick it up. You see this, right? So you have to do like this. You have to install it inside, then flip this. And this one is very tight. Okay, and now it's waterproof. But the trick is, so now you have to, whereas in GoPro Hero, the USB cable, the USB port was right at the back, and I was using a skeleton door, so it was over here. I could just, whenever I needed to charge that GoPro Hero, I would just hook up the cable directly in one step without touching anything else, and I can connect it to my computer. By the way, this thing takes forever to charge. I downloaded the manual, and the manual says first time it takes 3 hours, and that's what it took, because the current from the laptop is you know, very weak, so it did take 3 hours. But here you cannot do that. And also in a GoPro here, I mean, connect the cable. The memory card was covered by the skeleton door, but it was also on the back here. All I had to do was just unsnap this contraption, and as soon as I flip open the skeleton door in the back, I had access to the memory card. Now what puzzled me here, it only came with a quick start instruction, and it did not show like this. It just showed the actual camera, but it has all these little doors in here everywhere. So to get, even like to install the battery, you have to first take it out, right? And then it has this port in here. It took me a while to figure out how they work. Like, I don't know. I guess they had to do it this way because, yeah, okay. See, I've managed to open it. I think I'll break it eventually, but that's where your USB and HDMI ports are. So to connect, to charge this thing, first you have to remove the housing, which according to GoPro was supposed to be single body. It's not. Then you have to exert 500 pounds of pressure to open this watertight baby, and then you can hook up the cable, right? Now the same thing is over here, which is still more difficult, is this part. You have to push this, you have to push this button with one finger, and then somehow you have to move it sideways, and that's where your battery is, and that's where they put the memory card. So look how many steps you have to do just to get to the battery and the memory card, you know? And we are learning. This is kind of like interactive video, right? So we're learning together. All I did so far was read the manual, charge the battery, installed my old memory card. I formatted it, made sure that it works, and I powered it on. I think it's over here, like this button here on the side. Just short press. That should be the wait a second, the opposite side, sorry, this side. Just short press, it starts, and long press, that's how you turn it off. But what I like is that now, about things I like so far, is the screen. Shoot, it's probably, yeah, it's very sunny, and the screen is very bright, very easy to read, and it's a touch screen. And now you see, like, if I want to change the resolution, you probably don't see it, but now it's 720. All I do is just flip like this, scroll, so 1080. Okay, and then 1080, I choose the frames per second, and I can do 24, 30, 48, 60. Now I don't wanna choose the wrong frames per second, because I'm recording this with my LG G4 smartphone. So this is kind of like the first part of the video, right? And the second, I'm gonna put it on my head, and we're gonna start driving. So I think I'll stick to 1080 30, because I'm recording in 1080, but my smartphone does not tell me if it's 60 or 30 frames per second, so I don't want to confuse them. And FOV, oh, it has super view, okay, and it's all touch screen, right? So that's it. So now I selected on the screen there, like I said, very bright screen, very easy to set up. Like, if you know the previous ones, you really needed to be like a, 10-year-old. Like, I don't wear glasses, but for me it was very difficult to see. Like, the letters were so tiny, I had to use my smartphone just to enlarge the picture. But this is so much nicer. Like, I have no problem seeing the letters, and it's so easy to set up because all you do is just scroll, And so I set up my point of view. I set up my frames per second and resolution. Beautiful. So now I can just turn it off, long press, okay, and it shut off. So now we put it back in this thing, latch it, Now I gotta connect, so I remove this. And let's see how it fits. I'm gonna connect it here. But some people sometimes ask me, like, how do you know when to use wide or super view? And actually that's pretty cool, because sometimes I put this cam on the back of my truck when I'm recording, let's say, loading and unloading, and the trailer in my transport trailer is pretty far, well, like 15-20 feet where the action is happening, and that's when I would choose narrow, like, you know, point of view, because narrow make things, it kind of like enlarges them, right? The wider you go, the smaller things become, and that's very useful. Now I'm using super view. It's hot today. I'm using super view because I want you guys to see like my steering wheel, you know, in my hands, and super view gives you extra footage on top and at the bottom. So it's kind of like, instead of doing 16:9, it gives you kind of like almost a square, and then it extends them and turns them into 16:9. So super view is great when you need to see, when you want to show something below the regular field of vision and above the regular field of vision. So it's like it's especially useful when you have it on your head. So now let's see. So I'm gonna push it once, push one button, and it should start recording. And I just want to double check. And nothing's happening. Come on. Alright, I think now it's recording. I see the light is blinking and the seconds are ticking. Yeah, and on the back here I see red light. Yeah, 1080p, 30 feet, because, you know, the worst thing you can do is just talk and drive and think that you are recording something where in fact you're not recording. But I'm very used to this. I know that you're supposed to turn it like this approximately, you know, like at an angle. And because it's super view, this will give you, you'll be able to see through the windshield, and you'll be able to see my hands. Okay, switching to Hero 5 Black now. Alright, I think now it's recording. I see the light is blinking and the seconds are ticking. Yeah, and on the back here I see red light. Yeah, 1080p, 30 feet, because, you know, the worst thing you can do is just talk and drive and think that you are recording something where in fact you're not recording. But I'm very used to this. I know that you're supposed to turn it like this approximately, you know, like at an angle. And because it's super view, this will give you, you'll be able to see through the windshield, and you'll be able to see my hands. Okay, switching to Hero 5 Black now. And also we're gonna, so now, yeah, we're recording with the new GoPro. Hero 5 Plus. I'm in Cambridge, Ontario. Today is what, the beginning of October, but it's plus 24 Celsius. Now I gotta use my I gotta move my head to check for traffic, but this thing has stabilization, and so it should be pretty cool. Now, one thing when you do tests like this, especially inside a vehicle, my advice to all YouTubers is make sure your radio is off, because if you're recording music, oh look at this, if you're recording a piece of music, the YouTube will not allow you to monetize the video. Okay, just to be cool, now we're doing manual. See, I have pedals over here, plus and minus. So I move my shifter in the manual mode, and I'm changing gears with my hands manually. I just use my fingers over here. Now we just got these roundabouts in a couple of places in Cambridge. I think a big part of this project was the local cemetery or the local morgue, because they need new bodies to keep functioning. Sorry for the dark humor, but I really hate these. I hate them, you know? And okay, there's no lights, right? So the maintenance is minimum, right, for them? But it took them forever. It took them forever to build this. The construction was going on for like, I don't know, 1 year. I think lights are so much simpler, you know, safer. But governments, right? I guess they're trying to save money. Okay, so we're going over 401. So this is our local freeway here. That's west. This is east. So Toronto is that way, and Detroit, Michigan, and Windsor, Ontario is this way. Now this is very cool. I always like watching this. There's a bus and it says no turn, and the bus has a signal over there, and I was always trying to decipher how does this guy know when to turn, because that light is always red. There's like we have these two lights here, right? But the bus has another one, and over here there's lettering on the asphalt says bus lane only, and there's a signal. But now on top of the red, on his set of light, there's a vertical white bar, and that's how he knows. It's kind of like his own public transit light, which I think is pretty cool. Like it's red for everybody else, but it's vertical white light for him, so that's how he knows. Because the traffic over there is crazy. People always go left, right, left, right. Anyway, and this is you probably, guys, if you saw videos on my channel, I drive this road every day, and I try actually to avoid, because there's too many lights here. just for the sake of this video, I'll just stay here because I'm going to a Starbucks where I know they have a good, strong connection. I was even able yesterday to download an update to my operating system. You know, I had Capitan on my Mac. Now I have, what's the new one? Starts with an M, and the size was 4 gigabytes. It took 30 minutes, but it worked. So what we are testing is not just the picture quality, right? But what's very important for me, and I know for many people, for many viewers on YouTube, is audio. Now GoPro claims that this new Hero 5 has 3 microphones, and they created they put in some secret juice in a way of a software, and so the software determines which microphone out of these 3, and they're all on different sides. I think one is in the bottom, one is on the top, one is on the back, and the software determines which microphone should be given priority. And for me especially, I like doing videos like this when I'm driving my transport truck. I know GoPro Hero, the previous basic one that cost 165 Canadian or 125 US, worked perfectly in this position. And I can also shift with the shift over here. If I pull it, that's plus, increase, go higher. Look, I pull it, it shifts. I love this transmission. See? Plus. And another cool feature is that you don't have to worry about downshifting when you stop. You know, like if it's a real... Okay, see, now it's getting too low, so we're gonna upshift. But the cool thing is that when I stop, I can stop in any gear and the engine is not gonna stall, but it'll just switch to the first automatically, like the transmission. Like when you have a manual transmission, that's always you know, especially for new people, it's a problem, because let's say you're in gear 3 and you come into an intersection and everybody slows down but they're still moving, and then your RPM goes down, so you have to shift because your whole car starts it's about to shut down. Right here you don't have to worry about that. It's the best of both worlds. You still have control over your gear selection and speed, and the transmission helps you. And what I like about using this manual mode is that the car stops much faster. Because as soon as I take off my foot off the gas, it starts slowing down. And don't mind me talking about the car, because this is still a test of the GoPro, right? Because how do you check the audio if not by talking? I hope it still works over there. Alright, I'm looking in the mirror. Yeah. Oh wow, that's cool. So I can check in the mirror. Oh, I don't have that one in my car. By the way, we're driving a 2016 Mazda 3, 2.5 liter engine, 185, I think, horsepower, with optional SpinTech, dual SpinTech mufflers, and I have a K&N air filter. That's the only two modifications I did. Not intake, but just the K&N filter. And some people say they don't believe in this, but I checked. I put back the regular filter, and right away I noticed the performance difference. The car pulls much better with that filter. It supplies more air for sure. Accelerate here. Usually there's somebody in the front, some kind of a 75-year-old guy drives in the left lane. That guy. Gotta be very careful here at this intersection. Isherwood, Hespler, and Isherwood Munich. It's Munch this way, Isherwood this way, because there's a big police station over here. And the speed limit is 50 k an hour, which is what, 31 miles an hour. So another guy in the front driving 20 kilometers below the speed limit. Well, what do you do? I'm not in a rush. By the way, if you guys are falling asleep, there's a bridge, like a railroad bridge, and Starbucks is right after that. Except that these people don't want to drive. What is that? Nissan Altima. park on the right here. We're just gonna park somewhere here. A bunch of times I always prefer to park like this so that it's easier to leave, and I go from there and I pull in front over here so I can back, and there's always some idiot trying to fly between me and here and this spot. So you always have to double check, because people are flying like crazy here, and that's where lots of accidents happen, right? Inside plazas and shopping centers. Anyway, so this was a test, and I see it's still working. You guys see, right? Hello. So thanks for watching. I have no idea what the picture looks like, but I guess there's only one way to find out. I'm gonna go inside the Starbucks, you know, start my iMovie, combine these two footages from my smartphone. That's what I used, and the new GoPro 5, and hopefully the audio was good and the picture was good, but you see for yourself. Again, thanks for watching. I'm Sergei DRATCHEV in Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. Thank you.